Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you enjoyed my last video. Today I am going to be showing you how I got this makeup look. This is my kind of casual everyday sort of makeup look, my go-to and all like my basics. I also want to just mention that I am not a makeup artist. I don't have any proper training, but this is just what I do and this is what I've learned from other people and just from teaching myself and seeing what works for me. If any of that helps you, then that's great. And if you want to see how I got this look, please keep watching. So before I started filming, I washed my face, moisturized, and put some pawpaw on. So first step is to prime with my Stila One Step Correct. It is seriously the best primer I think I've used.
Hi.
Next, I'm taking my MAC Mineralized Satin Finish SPF foundation in the color NW30. It's very dark for my skin at this point. I usually use this one when I'm more tanned, but I feel like it's not going to be too dark today because once I do all the other steps, it lightens my face up a lot. I usually just apply it right onto my face because I hate getting it on my hand or putting it on something else, but it's just a thing that I do. Then I just take my beauty blender and spread it all around. I don't really like to cake on a lot of foundation because of the next steps that I'm gonna do. So it doesn't have to be like super full coverage. As you can see, it probably looks pretty silly at the moment. It doesn't cover really anything, but that's what I aim for because I just want it to act as a base that kind of primes my face for then powder and concealer and all that kind of stuff. I've just noticed, especially having really weird skin that can be really oily and then really dry, putting lots of foundation on always cakes off. So I've found this way works much better for people that have skin like I do. So once I've kind of rubbed that all in, I like to take the other end of the beauty blender and kind of just press it down. I feel like it just gives it more of an even look, as even as it can be at this point. Once I've done that, I'm gonna go in with my NARS concealer. This is the Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla and I'm obsessed with it. Like, it's seriously the best thing I've ever used. And this color is perfect. So I usually put it just under here, my nose. And I usually go in with a brush first and I blend it first a little bit with the brush just to spread it out. And I kind of just blend it to wherever it's like gonna go. So once I kind of feel like that's spread, I just buff it in a bit with my beauty blender. Next step is using my Step by Step contour stick crayons by Smashbox. I have 3 different colors: bronze, contour, and highlight, which is pretty simple. So they're these. First, going with contour. So I contour my cheekbones and my nose. They're very pigmented, so I'm literally not even touching my face with it. Like that. And then go in with bronze and just do it above the contour. Just before you hit the top of your cheekbone. And then going with the highlight stick, do it here. And I always do it down the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. So I always go in with a brush to kind of just blend it out a little bit, and then I blend it more with the Beauty Blender. And at this point it probably looks pretty gross and dirty, but we'll get there. So once you've done that, then just go in with the Beauty Blender and kind of blend it all more into the skin. It still doesn't look super flawless yet, but the next step will help with that. I'm using my Nude by Nature Natural Mineral Cover in medium. It's like the perfect color for my skin, so with this over the top of the foundation, it kind of lightens everything up and just helps give like a flawless coverage. I live by this and I use this even if I'm not using foundation. It just gives an amazing flawless blurred look, and I don't know what I would do without it. So I'm just using a kabuki brush. So I just take some of this powder. I get quite a bit, and I start in here and then just kind of bring it out around my face, and it helps blend everything in. And because it's colored and not translucent, kind of helps blur all the contour and blend it. So as you can see, this side definitely looks more blurred than this side, which is what we're aiming for. So now I'm using my Nude by Nature Mineral Bronzer and Mineral Finishing Veil. I use the bronzer just to go over the contour, the finishing veil to go over the highlight. So using this brush for my contour. And I'm just lightly going more down the bottom of my cheek here. So I use more of a flat brush with my finishing veil just to go over the highlight. So now I blush. I have just a witchery cheek palette. I don't really know. Oh, it's in the color Crimson, and it looks like this. So it has two tones. One's more of like a highlight tone and the other one's a little bit of a darker pink. So mixing them together just creates an amazing glow, but with a still darker undertone. So I'm just going to blend that with my contour and onto the apples of my cheeks. And it's not super pigmented, so you need to get a little bit on your brush. After I do that, I usually just go back in with the brush that had the excess of the nude powder on it, and I just kind of brush over that to blend everything together. But just very lightly. And then I'll go back with the brush that had the highlight and just kind of clean up the edge of the blush and the top. So now I'm doing my brows. I'm using Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. I have blogged about this, so I'll link that below. And I'm using it in the color Ash, which is perfect for my eyebrows. They're looking a bit ratty at the moment, so we'll try and fix them up. So once your brows are looking like you want them to, I kind of just go over again with that nude brush and just brush over the whole brow just to give it a more flush look, because sometimes having thick dark brows can look pretty harsh. So I always just use the spoolie to brush them out. And then I take my highlight pen again and just go underneath to give it a flawless finish. Doing this can really help to give the illusion, even if your eyebrows need to be done, that you have a really flawless crease. And sometimes I just do a little bit on the top of the brow just to highlight the whole thing overall. And then just use a brush to blend that in. And then once you've done that, just go back in with the spoolie one last time. So after I've done that, I do my lashes. I use two different types of mascara. The first one is MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. And as you can see here, the spoolie is very, very, very thin. But the mascara is amazing, so that's why I love that one. And then I also, over the top of that, go in with Fiber Lash by Witchery, just in the color black. And this one is much thicker, with a really thick consistency and a thick brush. So first I'm using this one. I love this one, but it makes your lashes look quite spidery. So that's why I go in with the other one over the top, because it helps blend them all. But this helps definitely lift it, and I definitely do not use eyelash curlers. I use them in the past and I like them, but I feel like I've heard too many horror stories about people's eyelashes getting cut off, and that scares me to death. I try and take care of my eyelashes because I love them and I want to keep my real ones and not have to get fake ones. So I just try and use mascara to lift them as much as possible, because I do not want to use a lash curler. And it's good if you come right from the root and just like bring it up and push the lash up so it looks like you have curled it. I don't use this one on the bottom because the bottom lashes look way too spidery if you do it, so I use the thicker brush. So let that just dry a little bit, but you don't want it really dry. And then go in with the Witchery one. And I bring this one more towards the top of the lashes, not so much at the roots. And as you can see how that one's super lifted now. And then just do a little bit on the bottom, but be careful because this one can get very thick on the bottom and then it looks way too cakey. So I literally just do a tiny bit, like you probably can't even notice it, but it just helps balance it just that little bit. Now I just go in with my Stila eyeshadow in the color Oasis to highlight just a little bit here. You don't have to do this part if you like more of a matte finish, but I like just that little bit of shimmer on the cheek. And then lastly, I usually go in with a lip liner, but I've actually run out at the moment. But I'll use just like a normal nude or like a pinky lip liner and then go in with MAC Jubilee. I swear by this color and it is my go-to color. I wear it all the time. I don't like to put heaps and heaps, but as you can see, the color's like pretty pigmented. And I don't love the color on its own, so I'll usually put over the top a lip gloss. Sometimes I have a MAC one that I use. Today I'm using Napoleon Perdis Romance, and I got this given as a gift, and it seriously smells so good. It's one of the best things I think I've ever smelled in my life, and I love it. It's just like an amazing color, and you can even wear it without lipstick, and it still looks really, really good. So that just gives it a little bit more shine and more of like a pinky color. And pretty much this is the final result. So if you enjoyed watching this, please let me know. Comment below or on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, anywhere on my social media. If you'd like to see more videos like this, give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel. I'll post all the links below to every product I used and to my blog posts. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.